yeah, without further ado, man, this is capital raising. A lot of the investor relations things that I'm going to go over today are applicable at any stage, but I do want to know. I know we have a lot of students that have been with us for a while and a lot of students that are new. So put in the chat how long you've been in the program, and then also put in if you are the capital raiser on your team, if you are going to be the investor relations a member of your team, because that's super important. The things I'm going to show today are applicable either way, but I do want you guys I do want to see who is focused on investor relations, who's going to focus on capital raising. If you guys know Tyler and Ryan's story, that is how they actually got started into the business. When they first connected, Ryan began by referring capital to Tyler, and when they started doing deals together, they actually leveraged their investor relations skills to begin taking down deals and getting their general partnership. So without further ado, let me start my screen share, and then let me know if you guys can see my screen. Alrighty, and then just put in the chat if you guys can see my screen, so I know that we're good and we're ready to rock. Alrighty. Beautiful. So investor relations, today we're going to go over the entire process of capital raising, and I'm going to go over some pretty much the topics that I feel like are necessary for the processes, and these are them right here. So I want to start with marketing. Marketing is super important. As a capital raiser, you are the marketing person on your team. You are the person that's responsible for telling as many people as possible about what you guys are doing. So let me ask this question to the group right now. As a marketer, if you're just getting started, who is the first person you should be marketing yourself to? I want to see what people think right here. Let's see. Everyone, love it. Yourself, your family. Yep. Exactly. So these are the 5 processes I'm going to go over. Like I mentioned, feel free to ask any questions. We will have a Q&A at the end. One of the things that I do want to mention, though, if you're just getting started in the space, the first person you're actually marketing yourself to is your partners. As a capital raiser, most of the time, you're more responsible for raising capital and bringing those relationships to your partners who are working more on the broker relationship side or working more with acquisitions. So you want to basically put yourself in a position of marketing yourself to these partners. You want to look for sponsors. You want to look for people who are going to help you manage the property. You want to look for people who can help you underwrite deals. So one of the first things you should be doing, especially in this beautiful network, is labeling yourself as a capital raiser, as an investor relations team member, and saying, hey, whether you have a team or not, right now is the most important time to be able to reach out to other people in other teams and say, hey, this is what I'm doing here. What do you guys, what strategies are you guys doing to raise capital on your team? And really start connecting with as many sponsors and people in the industry that you guys are looking to connect with. So that's the first thing, is to be able to market yourself as a capital raiser, as an investor relations professional, and really taking ownership on saying, hey, this is who I want to be. This is what I'm studying. This is what I'm going to focus on. The second thing is lead generation. So I did a video training a couple months back. It's in the path under the investor relations portal. If you guys want to take a look at, I go deep dive in on how to build relationships and how to actually generate leads. Today's more focused on what to do after you get leads, but if you guys want to take a look at that video, be sure to. But on the lead generation side, always start with your current network. Who knows you already, right? Your friends, your family. I saw a lot of people in the chat say that. Also, get referrals from your current network, right? Being able to just talk to people about what you do is going to be super important in the beginning. And then also being able to pick a target market, right? So one of the things I went over in last training is think about who you are in your industry. You know, a lot of people here have careers that they've been in for a while. So now you can position yourself as the expert in the multifamily space for your industry that you've been a part of for your career. So, for example, if you have a connection with dental professionals, that's a great target market to go after because you understand their world, you know, their concerns, their investment strategies, and now you can position yourself as the multifamily professional and expert to them. So, lead generation is the second thing that you got to be focused on, and then the third thing is marketing materials. So, you know, when you first get started, the only thing you really need to do is be able to position yourself with a pitch deck, just something very simple. You don't even need to have a specific deal yet. The way that I've seen a lot of students do when they don't have a deal or when they're working with sponsors or asset managers or acquisitions teams to get a deal is you're really just pitching the opportunity itself. And are these notes in a PDF? Can we get a download? Yes. So this will be all recorded. This will be in the path. And what I want to do right now is ask you guys, have you guys ever seen an actual pitch deck for an investment property? Have you guys seen our pitch deck? I just want to ask the group really quick. Yes, awesome. Yes, a few. So what I want to do right now is I actually want to show you an example. This is our actual pitch deck for the Aloha Fund that we currently have at MF Capital Partners. And this is going to be extensive. You don't need to have it this detailed, but a simple free Canva account can help you create something special, something that looks as great as this. But I just wanted to go through it really quickly to show you guys what a pitch deck looks like. And this one is specifically pitching the fund, right? But if you guys don't have a current deal, you can start getting data from the actual multifamily education that you're receiving and actually pitch it and say, hey, I'm doing this. I'm learning about multifamily. I wanted to see if you'd be interested in investing when I do get a deal. These are the perks. These are the target returns that we're going over. This is our partners. These are some of the sponsors that we work with. This is the case studies that you can expect. Can we get a copy? Yes. So I'm going to put this in the chat. There you go. So that's in the chat for everybody. That link right there, if you guys want to check it out and go through it. This is the actual one that we're sending out to our current investors right now. So it'll be a great starting point. But that's one of the value things, right? So how do you become valuable? How do you become valuable? In investor relations, you become valuable by being able to add value to your partners. Create this pitch deck, right? Create some of the marketing materials that you guys need. One of the biggest things too, when it comes down to raising capital and being able to market yourself, is being able to not only have the marketing materials necessary to present, but then having a structure for when you get on these calls. So the next part that's very important is the actual sales process, right? So you got marketing, being able to generate interest, being able to generate leads of people. And people tell me all the time, hey, Jay, I'm new. I don't have any leads. So this is a simple way I can put it, right? You have a phone. You can actually have all those contacts, put them in an Excel sheet. That's a lead list right there. If you've had an email, you've emailed back and forth with a bunch of people, I bet, professionally or with social groups. That's a lead list right there. And then everybody has social media. So everybody has friends on social media. That's a third lead list right there that you can start with. You don't need to be doing paid advertising in the beginning. But once you start with that group, people who you already connected with, you can start practicing your pitching and really get more comfortable talking about what you guys are learning. So I would start there, right, with the leads. So to give you guys an insight on what we do on our investor relations team, I want to go over a couple things. The first thing is discovery calls. So what is a discovery call? A discovery call is the first call that you have with someone who you want to qualify, educate, and get a soft commitment from, right? So specifically with these are the first calls that you have when you start reaching out to friends, family, people that you're kind of introducing to this industry or to the investment opportunity. You want to start qualifying. What that means is, here's a couple of questions if you guys want to write these down. The first question to ask is, what are you currently investing in? So when people are looking to invest, you want to learn from them first, right? So you want to ask them questions like, what are you currently investing in? If they are reaching out to you and want to learn more, what is interesting to you about multifamily? Another good question is if I find the right opportunity for you, what is your capital? What capital are you trying to deploy? What is your timeline to actually deploy capital? And then this is the most important reason. The most important question to ask is their why. Why do you want to invest? Is it for tax depreciation? Is it for passive income? Is it to build generational wealth? What is their why? These are a lot of the questions that when our investor relations team speaks to our investors, our prospects, our leads, the first call is just about getting to know about them. You're not even really pitching the opportunity. And the way you kind of frame it, oh my God, Tyler has amazing videos. If you guys haven't seen the podcast with Jackson and Ty, they go over the entire sales process. So if you guys haven't seen that, definitely dive in. But the structure is very similar. It's very simple. It's just saying, hey, thank you for hopping on the call today. I set aside 30 minutes for us to speak today. What I want to do is go over your investment goals and needs. I'm going to learn more about you. I want to go over some of the things I've been learning with this educational company and what I'm learning to invest in multifamily, and then see if it's a good fit at the end. Does that sound great? And usually you'll say yes, and you guys can tap in and start with the conversation. And then you can go through all those questions and learning about them. And when you're qualifying them, there's one thing too that you need to identify when you're working with another team that brings you deal is if they're accredited or not. Put in the chat if you guys know the difference between accredited and non-accredited and what makes a person accredited. Because this is super important. If you're raising either for a 506B or a 506C, this is what you discover in the discovery qualification call, so you guys can know what opportunity to put them in. So that's the discovery calls, right? So then you're getting interest, you're getting people to say, hey, I would do 100,000, or I would invest 50K. Or, you can even have people say, well, I don't have it cash, but I got it in my 401k, my IRA. And those are the types of conversations you guys want to start getting soft commitments from. Soft commitments are people who are saying, yes, if you had a deal for me, I'll be interested in learning more. And guys can start putting them, in your CRM or an Excel sheet or, wherever you're managing your leads. And then the second thing we do is we have a due diligence call. So this is the call where you actually pitch the opportunity. This is the call where you finally get a deal. And what you're really going over here is how to invest, where the money is coming from, whether it's cash, whether they have it in a 401k, IRA, and you kind of want to speak to the specific deal that you have, right? The projections on returns, where the property is, the property location, the market, why the opportunity is attractive. And a lot of the times you got to realize that you're selling yourself too. Why should people invest with you? That's where you can talk about the network that we have. That's when you can talk about the education, the sponsors that you guys are working with. A lot of the things that separate you is actually yourself, right? There's nobody else in the world like you. So lean into that and be able to educate them and give them value up front is what's going to help you guys go over that. Another section I have with that, I'm going to go over software. So I'll dive into like how to get the subscription doc signed and how to get the wiring from the money that you guys want to raise. And then the third one is if you guys are not doing webinars, this is a super easy way to get people in a room who are interested and just educate them. I think one of the things that, people oftentimes, from the investor relations side, you got to be pretty out there. You got to be a person who's outgoing to be able to talk about the actual opportunities. So it's just practice, right? Get your practice in now. MFCP and MFM, we do a webinar every single week, and we just go over new topics. We go over the new investment opportunities. We go over tax depreciation strategies. We go over some of the case studies of recent acquisitions. A lot of the things that investors ask us questions on, we usually just turn it into a webinar so we can educate more people at one time. So this is definitely, if you guys are not currently doing any types of webinars, I would challenge you guys to do it once a month and just start getting people interested that want to learn more about the opportunity. So that's the sales side there. I see questions coming in. No worries. We're going to answer them at the end. The next thing I want to go over is what softwares do you guys need? So if you don't have a CRM, I would definitely advise to get a CRM, whether it's Engager. Some of our students use Engager, whether it's HubSpot. And then another thing that's super simple to get started with is actually having a platform or a software where people can book calls with you. One of the free ones that's very famous and useful is Calendly. And that's all you need, right? People think, I need a full website. I need all of this. Just start with a Calendly link and start talking about what you guys are doing. Putting that in your bio, putting it in your email signatures where people can book some time to speak with you. On the sales side too, one of the things I wanted to bring up with the CRM is you guys want to track KPIs, right? So when we're talking about investor relations, what's my day-to-day look like? It's really, the number you want to look like is how many people am I telling a day that I do multifamily? It can start with one. It can start with five. You want to get it to 10, sending texts, emails, setting up calls. So the KPIs that we track here in MFCP, if you guys want to write this down, it'll make more sense as I go through. But the first one is leads, right? How many phone numbers, names, and emails are we getting a day? And like I said, if you guys don't have any, or say you don't have any leads, start with the people in your phone, start with people in your email, start with people in your Facebook, and say, okay, how many leads do I totally have? Keep a count of how many leads you guys have together. The next thing is, how many people am I talking to a day? How many outbound am I doing? How many texts? How many calls? How many emails am I sending out to these people? That's the second KPI we track. The third one is how many calls did I actually get on, right? How many conversations did I have? How many booked calls do I have on my calendar that I actually spoke to, right? And then the next one is, which I'm going to go over here, is how many investor profiles or how many people did I have to soft commit to go into my portal. So if you guys don't have a portal, these are the portals that are the most popular in the industry. We currently use Syndication Pro as MFCP, but there's a lot of different options that you guys can use. And like I said, once you get into a team and once you get working with some team members, this is where you guys can invest into a portal to be able to put your opportunities. Even if it is a wait list, people can soft commit into your portal, and that'll be your exclusive list that you promise to be first on your list when you guys do have an opportunity. And these platforms, you can keep them up to date with email marketing and really just nurture that list. So this is another software that you'll need on the investor relations capital raising side. And then the third one is a webinar hosting platform. So right now we're on Zoom. Really awesome to just be able to host a lot of your investors on a single call. And then you can even use Google Meets. Google Meets is free as well, and they have a webinar feature on there. So these are just a couple of 3 softwares that'll be definitely beneficial when you're trying to raise capital and you're trying to get people to learn more about the opportunities, to learn more about you, learn more about what you guys are learning. So that's the number 3 there. And then I'll move on to number 4, which is, all right, now you guys got investors, right? You guys got with partners. You got people who are looking to reserve and send money in wire. What do you do after you guys get investors? So these are the things that I manage on a weekly and monthly basis is distributions. So we send out distributions the third quarter after you invest with us, depending on the performance of the property. So that's something that your investor portal can help with as well. We work on monthly and quarterly reports. So how many of you guys have seen or have, first of all, let me ask this. How many of you guys have passively invested before? I just want to see how many people in our network have passively invested before. Yes, awesome. Not yet. Awesome. Yeah, so you guys should be receiving, if you're passively investing with us or with a different operator, you guys should be getting reports. So what I want to do is, let me show you, I'll pull up what we just sent out to our investors for quarter 2, so you guys can get an example of what it looks like. And like I said, this was all made in Canva, so you guys can have an account on Canva and help you guys just produce stuff like this. But I want to give you guys an insight on the stuff that we're currently sending out to our investors, so you guys can get an idea of what it looks like. So I'm going to share my screen. So this is our quarter 2 report to our investors. This is actually for the Aloha Fund 2. And there's a couple things that you guys want to go over on here, right? So once you have an investor that's invested into a property or into a fund, right? We have a fund. You want to make sure that you send them monthly and quarterly reports So you'll see here, we kind of go over the property information, we go over financials, and we give them an overview, right? We give them some context of what we're doing at the property. So this is an example here. I won't spend too much time on it. Just wanted to give you guys an insight, and this will all be recorded, like I mentioned before, if you guys want to go through and see some of these things that I'm showing you now. So, for example, we closed on Arden Place, a new acquisition for the fund in Q2. So we have that highlight. The first acquisition that we had a 15.5% NOI growth, which is Orlando Sky, and we were able to raise rents by 5.7%. Just to give you guys an insight on how it looks, what information, and this is probably the most important page, right? You guys want to go over a couple financials. The ones that we go over is net operating income, and we do it by quarter over quarter or month over month to show the growth there. You want to go over physical occupancy and the expense ratio and what the expenses are. Now, a lot of this information, right, will be provided to you by your asset manager. But what is our job in investor relations? To make it look great, to be able to communicate it, to be able to answer questions that investors may have on the report, right? And one of the main things that I learned, when you're working with investors is, we start to learn all the technical stuff. So whenever you're explaining things to investors, you want to make it as simple as possible for them to understand. You want to make it to where, when you get it, now you'll have savvy investors for sure. You'll have savvy investors who want to see the financials. I've had investors want to see underwriting, and you'll get to those type level of investors. But a lot of the times, it's just making it as simply as possible for them to consume and giving them a big, just overview of what you're doing and how you're taking care of their money overall. So I'll just go over the report here. We recently acquired it. And then what you also want to add is a market report, right? Like, this is the area that we invested in. This is the area of the property. This is why we invested. This is why we like this market. So just to show you, we invested in Orlando and Warner Robins, and then, that's the report. That's the report there. Another thing that you have to do on the investor relations side, and this comes in waves depending on the season. Tax season is crazy. Is investor report. You're really the person, the team that communicates the most with the investors. And one thing that I would always, suggest and say that I've learned is over communicate. Just keep them in the loop as much as you can. We start putting in place weekly emails that go out as an update, just to stay ahead of everything. We're starting to put in, when we go over these reports, we're starting to do a live webinar with our investors to go over the reports every quarter. So that's things that we're putting in place. And then, most of the support comes around tax season, like K1s, and being able to just communicate distributions. And some investors, a little older, so they have issues with their portal. They want to find their documents. So that's the biggest thing there when it comes down to managing investors after you get them. So that's investor management. And now I definitely want to dive into some questions. I know we had some coming in. Jackson, if you saw some that you liked that we wanted to go over, let me know, and I'll go through the chat as best as I can. But yeah, and then one thing I want to do too is, let me see. How do we invest into the fund? Yes, great question, Mark. I'm going to put this in the chat now. If you guys haven't made an investor profile with MFCP, this is the opportunity to look at our investor portal, but also learn how we curate the portal to give you all the information that you guys need. So it has an offering memorandum, it has the full business plan in there. So I'm going to put this link for you guys to check that out.
Awesome. Thank you for doing that, Jay. So good, my man. Appreciate it. Awesome. Couple of good questions that I see coming in here. Some really good ones. Let's start off with, where did we go? Oh boy, here we go. Susan asked, do you have a template of ideas, topics to start with on the webinars? Do you have a doc with most frequently asked questions? So Jay, question there.
This is awesome.
How would you encourage somebody to get started there?
Yeah, so that's an awesome question. So me and Jackson, we actually host and help moderate the webinars every week. One of the things that I always, say is, when you guys are learning, and especially now, leverage AI. There's a tool called ChatGPT. If you guys do not have it yet, I would suggest, not even suggest, that's an action item, right? Go make an account on ChatGPT, and I swear it'll take a lot of time, hours of wondering out of your hands, and ask it all of the right questions, right? So ask it, I am doing a webinar for investors to educate them on multifamily real estate investments. Give me 5 webinar topics that will help me educate them and raise capital from them. Like, that's the question right there. It'll spit out 5 different topics. And then you take it to the next step. I like topic number 3, write me a webinar presentation on the 3rd topic. And so it'll start helping you guys not only curate information, right? Because here's the thing, a lot of people are new to multifamily as a whole. And so any information that you guys relate to them is going to be beneficial. But like I mentioned, here's the key to sales, right? The key to sales isn't to try to convince somebody. You know how you really make sales, especially in how do you raise capital? And you guys are all here, so you guys are a testament, right? Share the moment that you guys had the epiphany that multifamily was something that you guys wanted to do. What is that moment? Whether you were at a preview, whether you were at a workshop, right? I'll tell you my story. I'm a business owner, right? So I own a marketing company for like the last 5 years. And I was making pretty good money, but I knew I needed to invest, and I was doing stocks, and it wasn't doing that great. And I was looking for alternatives. And I don't know how many of y'all, have read the book Think and Grow Rich, but we have an awesome network. So I know you guys are into personal development and growing. So I read Think and Grow Rich. It talks about what is your definite purpose. And I wrote down that my definite purpose was to create generational wealth. And so, it's funny. I looked up on Google. How do you create generational wealth? And buying apartments was number 3. You know how the world works, right? Lo and behold, I see the boy Tyler on an ad, and he came, they were doing a preview event. I'm from Jacksonville. That's where I was from. So I went to the preview event, and I already knew. I'm like, yo, this is something that spoke to me. And I went to the workshop, and that's where I had my epiphany moment. My epiphany moment was when Tyler told his story about knowing that he was responsible for making the impact in his family. He took full responsibility, right? And so that's when I knew. I'm like, my family doesn't come from wealth, right? My parents are immigrants. And I knew. I was like, this is a source of information. This is a vehicle. This is a piece of information. This is an opportunity that I wanted to be the source to my family. I wanted to be the source to my loved ones. I wanted to create for, I took full responsibility. So when you guys are speaking to investors, a lot of people get concerned with like, oh, well, I'm asking them for money and I'm doing this. If you really put yourself in a position where you're in here just to serve, and you're in here to give value, and just in here to saying, I'm the source, and this is the vehicle, and I want to share this with you because I know it can change your life. That's where you position the conversations differently. So I would just put that in your mind whenever you're having conversations, and say, what was it about me? What sold me on this? Why did I join the program? Why did I invest in myself? Why did I know that this was something that I wanted to take seriously? That's the moment that you need to share, right? All the technical stuff with numbers and ARR, IRR, like the market research, the underwriting, all that stuff will come, but just begin being that source for people, and that'll help you with your journey when you first get started. Love that question. I went on a tangent, but
yeah. No, that's so good. That's such good. No, dude, that's such good information. Such good information.
Yeah.
Don't worry so much about yourself. Worry so much about them and adding value to them. No, dude, I love that.
Yeah. I see. Next level wealth. Yep. Next level wealth. What's good, brother? What's your question? I think you're muted, brother.
Yeah, can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Can.
All right. My name's Brett. I'm going to a networking event next month. It's with a whole bunch of CEOs and different people like that. I was wondering, since we don't have a deal actively underwritten and the LOI accepted yet, if we do by that point, what is the best way to capital raise with and without a deal? Because there is a speed deal round. So if I get to a speed deal, it's where you pretty much represent your deal, like speed dating. I was wondering how to go about that, and if we don't have a deal by then, how to go about without the deal.
I love it, bro. Yeah, so like I mentioned, I think one of the things that's important, great question, Brett, whether in the beginning, a lot of you won't have a deal. And that's why I think it was important, like I mentioned, to market yourself to people who are looking to do the asset management acquisition side. But at this networking event, Brett, one of the things you can do is really tap into, these are all CEOs. These are all businessmen. These are all people who are building businesses, personal development, just like them. I think the biggest thing to identify with you, Brett, is identifying with them what, like the discovery, right? And what's beautiful about going to networking events is you can take the discovery process in person. You don't have to schedule a call for it. You can be there right then and start learning from them. Be like, hey, man, whoever it is, nice to meet you. What's your business in? How long you been doing business? Great, man. What is your goal with the business? Are you looking to sell it? Are you looking to grow it, scale it? Great, man. Do you have kids? What do you want to do? Great. The reason I'm asking is because I've learned about this skill that I'm acquiring apartments with investors, and I wanted to ask you, what are you currently investing in? Do you know about multifamily? Are you a person that would be interested? And this is where you can throw it in. I'm hosting a webinar next month. Would love to have you on. And I think one of the biggest things too to identify, Brett, is just to get comfortable talking about it. So, we're all in the personal development, dude. I would really just picture yourself there and start thinking about the relationships that you want to make and the conversations that you want to have before you get there. And it only takes one person. It only takes one person to connect with. But I would ask yourself the same question, man. What is your why? Why did you go all in? Why is this something that you feel that you're passionate about? And then connect with people there that have the same wavelength as you, that have the same purpose in growing their business. And that's going to be the biggest takeaway, is just being able to connect with people who are like-minded and being their source of information and communication and stuff from them. So I would just say that, bro. And I'm excited for you to go to that event, bro, and connect with people.
Awesome. I appreciate it, man.
No problem, bro.
Awesome. If you guys have any more questions, throw them in the chat here for Jay, or please feel free to raise your hand and you can unmute your mic and ask your question.
Let's see.
You use the acronym KPI in the securities industry. It means key performance indicators. Does it mean the same here?
Yeah, so it does. So think about this. You're in sales, right? You're in marketing and sales, investor relations. You're a communications specialist. KPIs is being able to track things. So if you're not managing a team, you're managing yourself, right? So how do you know if you're doing good or not? Like, a lot of people ask me, like, I don't know how to get started. This is a simple way how to get started. right? The simple way. First thing is take everybody out your phone, email, Facebook, get your lead list, right? That's step number one. That's action item. Do I have a lead list? Yes or no? Yes, I got my lead list. Second thing is, what is your daily outbound? What does your daily outreach look like? How many people am I going to tell a day that I do multifamily? That's your second KPI. Those are your key performance indicators. Set a number that you feel you can grow with. It can start with 5. Say tomorrow I'm gonna tell 5 people. Tomorrow I'm gonna tell 3 people, whatever it is. But have that number in your mind every day, and that's your key performance indicator. Did you hit 3 today or no? Did you hit 5? Okay, I hit 5 every day this week. I'm gonna hit 10 every day next week, right? And that's the next thing. The second KPI, like I mentioned, or the third KPI, is how many people did I get on conversations with? How many people did I tell about multifamily? How many people did I have a discovery call with? Did I qualify? Are they current investors? Do they have money? If they don't have money, a lot of times you might talk to people, your friends and family, and a lot of people say, "Oh, well, my friends and family." You'll be surprised who has money. You will be surprised who has money. One thing with sales, it's all mindset. So if you go into the conversation telling yourself, "This person don't have money," you think you're gonna make a sale? You think you're gonna get a referral? If you go into the call thinking about the person not being qualified, no, you got to go in there and serve, right? Because whether they have the money now or they will in the future, or whether they know somebody who can invest with you, that's the energy that you want to give them, right? So that's your third KPI. How many calls am I having? And then you go from there based on the soft commitments. Okay, I talked to 50 people this week. Out of those 50, 3 people were qualified, and they told me that they'll be interested in learning more about investing with me. I got soft commitments from 3 people, right? And so that's how you kind of start, your KPIs. You're managing yourself. When you first start, it's investor relations, but you're managing yourself. You're your own capital raiser. And those are the KPI, key performance indicators, to start tracking in the beginning. All right, awesome. Anything else, Jax, that you see?
No more questions that I see thus far. Here's a new one. As a capital raiser, can you share about best practices? Oh, hold on, sorry. Some more came in here and I moved the question down on how to have the website funnels, drip campaigns, and get the email systems linked and automated.
Yes. Awesome question. Let me see if I have it here to give you guys. So like I mentioned, so you guys can use a CRM, any CRM and stuff. I know Engager has funnels and stuff like that. I wasn't gonna, let me see if I have this set up. I wanted to show you guys this. Let's see, hold on. I'll see if I have it. If not, I will send it out. I'll have our team send it out to you guys. It's basically the marketing funnel that we have for MFCP that we're building out. And what it is it's basically this. So you have, and I'm sorry, I don't have I couldn't find the image. I thought I wish I would have had it beforehand. But basically what it is this. You want to send, and everybody here, I suggest, make a 1-minute video about who you are, what you do, and how they can contact you, right? That's the simplest thing. Make a 1-minute video, right? And this link can be hosted on a landing page or website. It doesn't matter what it is, Squarespace, Wix, Engager. You know what's crazy? You can even make one for free on Google websites. Google offers a free service to make a website. You can host it on a domain and everything. Domain costs you $12 if you guys don't have one already, right? So all you need to do is really this. You want to have a place where you send traffic to, right? So you send traffic to a landing page with a video of yourself, just like this. Hey, my name is Jay. I work for MF Capital Partners. I have investment opportunities in multifamily, doing this, and this. And then put your Calendly link right underneath it and just say, hey, if you're interested, be able to call me. Something simple like that. You can even set it up on like Instagram link trees or those Instagram links that have the landing page like pre-made for you. There's a lot of tools and softwares. The next thing you want to do, and this is fairly simple, you can set it up through either your CRM or an email marketing software like MailChimp or there's ActiveCampaign. I think MailChimp is free. What you want to do is connect that contact form with an email sequence, right? And that's basically the start of your, marketing funnel or nurturing sequence. You just want to set it up where as soon as someone becomes a lead from you, you can now send them a weekly email, a monthly email, something that keeps them nurturing. That's the start of the funnel. And then what you want to do there is have everything go back to either a calendar, a webinar, something that you can get on the phone with them or pitch them on who you are, connect with them. I'll make sure that we send out the funnel. If I can't find it, great question. I definitely want to show it with you guys. So I'll make sure that I show you what we're kind of building out on MFCP side. So I'll make sure we send that out. But great question. I would start with that. Start with the basics. Make sure that you drive traffic to a one page that has a video and a calendar, and then just attach an email marketing sequence through either ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, something that you can continuously and automate follow up with them.
Awesome, Jay. Another one here for you. Can you cover what we should avoid saying and what we can say on social media? The concern here is about the SEC.
Yes. So you can't go into specifics, specifically depending on the deal. If you have a 506B, you can't talk about a 506B deal out in the open. It has to be someone who's already in your contact or email list or someone that you already have a conversation or a relationship with. If it's 506C, this is where you can promote it more in the open, but you can't go into the details of the actual investment. So what I mean by that is you can't say, oh, we're going to do this opportunity is promised or guaranteed to make these results. Promised and guaranteed, this is always a risk. So in any advertising that you do, the way you protect yourself from the SEC is by having disclaimers. No matter what it is, Instagram story, posts, whatever it is that you're marketing your investment, you want to have disclaimers if you are going to have any type of financial information or projected terms, projected numbers that you guys want to promote. What I always do is I promote more or less an information piece. So for example, hey, multifamily is great for cost segregation because of these 3 things. If you're interested in learning more about my current opportunities, click here. So now it's like you're giving them information about the actual needs, right? What do investors needs or what are their wants, right? The deal is the product, right? But what are you actually servicing them with? You're servicing them with passive income. You're servicing them with, hedge against inflation. So you can speak to those things openly. But if you do want to put numbers, when you do have a specific deal, you can just make sure you have, like I mentioned, the disclosure that this isn't securities that you're selling them.
Okay. Great guidance. Chad, you've got your hand up if you want to unmute your mic and ask your question. Go ahead.
Actually, I was the one that raised. I'm Lenny. We're just sharing the screen today. One of the things on that same question, so thanks for doing this, Jay. One of the things that we've been cautioned by Bethany is to avoid calling yourself just a capital raiser. You cannot just be a capital raiser on any deal. So whatever other role that you may play within your team. So if you're the investor relations or the underwriter acquisitions or asset management, you can say, hey, I do this. And we actually don't even say capital raiser anymore. We say we bring investors to deals. And that way you avoid that terminology, which is technically against SEC. And we want to be really careful and share that with other students because we did say that a lot in the beginning and Bethany kept slapping our hands. So, and for those of you that don't know Bethany, she's the SEC attorney for MFM, MFCP, and for us. So just make sure you keep that in mind as you talk to any investors. And the other thing that I want to add, or that we want to add, is this is a business of building relationships because people will invest with people they know, like, and trust. And so you got to build those relationships first before they're ever going to invest with you. So appreciate you, Jay. Look forward to seeing you in the office again. Jackson, thanks a bunch.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Lenny. Yeah. Oh my God. Yo, Lenny gives so much. If you haven't connected with this man, find him in the group and shoot him a message. Give so much value, man. I think one of the points he was making was great. Yes, do not call yourself, hey, I'm a capital raiser. What you really want to say is I'm an investor relations specialist, or, or you can kind of say how he said it as well. I help investors invest into, we invest into apartments with investors. Something that doesn't really define you as a capital raiser, because when you are a general partner on a deal, you're doing more than capital raising. You have to take care of all the other things we spoke about and doing the actual management of the relationships with investors and communicating back and forth. So great insight, Lenny. Thank you for all the value that you give in the group, man.
Awesome. Susan, go ahead. Your camera's upside down, but we see you. If you want to unmute your mic and ask your question.
Okay. I don't know. Can you hear me okay?
It's a little bit.
A little bit.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
A little bit? Okay, I'm sorry. So I have a question maybe that's tying to what you just went over, and maybe a little bit more. Can you hear this okay? I might just type it in if you can't hear me. So my question, okay, great. So one, with all of the 4 different parts of the GPs, investor relations specialists, being capital raisers, and acquisitions, and asset management, investor relations, do you guys have like a template or some type of document that shows the different types, the roles and responsibilities and duties within each one of those spaces? Because I feel like when we're doing everything, the delineation between these roles, and it's really important to be able to do that. It would be nice to kind of have some type of template that has the roles and responsibilities within each one of those spaces. And I feel like sometimes they might kind of merge together too when we're speaking with investors, if we're doing multiple things as a GP. So is that something, I don't know, I know with Jay, you are talking specifically about capital raising, but just as a general multifamily question, is that something that you guys have on the platform or in the past somewhere?
Yeah, so great question, Susan. This is why I love our network so much, and I'll give you guys direction to do this if you haven't already. In our Facebook group, if you go on Facebook, if you go under files, one of our students actually uploaded this like whimsical or like this multifamily roles and the system, the process. I think It's the second one uploaded. I think Robert Johnson uploaded it. It's a great, just streamlined a graphic of how everything flows and who's responsible where in the paths. So I would take a look at that. And
Can you
and
say
just,
that again? Where is that?
yes. So go into the Facebook group,
Mhm.
and then there's a section that's called Files.
Mhm.
Under Files, there's I think it's the second one that was uploaded last month or a couple months ago. It's called Multifamily Team Roles and Acquisitions Process. So Robert Johnson, one of our students, uploaded his process in a whimsical, I don't know what he used to create it, but it shows you the streamline from, from what team member of the general partnership does what part do they come in, what is their responsibility. It's like a streamlined graphic. So
Yeah,
I would
love
start.
that.
I would start there.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no
Thanks.
worries.
Thanks, Jay.
I actually found the funnel. So you can use anything to build this funnel, right? ClickFunnels, Engager, whatever it is. Can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
So go ahead and take a screenshot, take a picture, whatever you want. This will be recorded, but this is the marketing and sales funnel that I built out for MFCP, and we're building out for MFM. This is basically how it works from start to finish, right? So all your organic traffic, your outbound, you want to send to your main website, to a case study, to that platform, that video that I mentioned in the beginning, LinkedIn, cold emails, cold calling, right? That's the first link. Now, paid advertising, that comes a little later, right? If you guys want to learn paid advertising, put it in the chat. I can possibly do that for the next training, right? How to run ads to get investors. But what you wanted to do is you wanted to go ahead and fill out that form, like I mentioned, right? That we call it a video sales letter. A video sales letter is basically just a 1 to 2 minute video of you, who you are, what you do, and whether you have a deal or not. You want to get them to give you their contact information and schedule a call with you. So we set up the page, and we have retargeting ads set up throughout the entire process. So if you guys have ever been on a website and you feel like they following you around, yeah, that's retargeting ads. We be doing that. So then, you want them to fill out this form. They give you some information. One of the questions on the contact form you want to ask: phone, name, email, whether they're accredited or not, right? And the amount of capital they want to invest. Those are simple 5 questions that you can ask on that form. That takes them right to a calendar page, right, for your qualification call. And one of the things we just started adding now, too, is we have a thank you page. So the thank you page, the reason we set that up is because we have a lot of traffic and a lot of leads coming into MFCP. So a lot of our investors may not even want to speak to us, or, might not even want to talk to us. They just want to invest. So we send them straight to the portal. Once they see the VSL, now we have an evergreen webinar going over the fund, send them straight to the portal. And that's when our investor relations team, or you'll wake up in the morning, you got that lead, you'll call, text, email them, say, hey, John, I saw you interested in the fund. We'd love to connect on a call, or I saw you scheduled a call. And then this is where you get them to do all their docs, right? This is the proposal, your subscription docs, the portal, signing everything, wiring, and then we actually schedule onboarding. So whoever asked about the funnel, this is the exact funnel that we're building. You can build it with ClickFunnels, Engager, whatever software it is, but this is the actual strategy behind the funnel. Yes, sir. And then I think we got about 10 more minutes. So I'll just answer a little bit of more questions. Michael James, you got your hand up, brother.
There we go. You can hear me. Yes.
Yes, sir.
2 items. You were talking about Bethany earlier, and everyone was talking about what do we call ourselves. I spent a lot of time on Wall Street, and I'm semi-retired now, and that's why I came over here. There were a couple things that interested me. I talked to Bethany, and she suggested that in this particular case, we call ourselves real estate syndicators. Okay, and I just got that from her right before she went on vacation.
Yes.
Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, on the heels of that, and all of the questions that everybody's asking, most of the people that come through this program, how many of them do you suggest that they acquire errors and omissions insurance?
Errors and omissions insurance. So to be honest with me,
in case you get sued.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm more on the investor relations side. On the acquisition side, I know that we have insurance, a blanket insurance for all of our properties. So I wouldn't be able to answer the specific question of, how many of you guys should get it. I know we should all have insurance on the properties.
Well, not the properties, on the transaction. If it goes south, or if somebody says the wrong thing, they come out. And, that's what it is. Not so much the properties. I'm sure properties are insured. I mean, because anyway, good. I'll let you finish.
No, yeah, Mike, you good, brother. Yeah, I would love to give you a clear answer on that. That's more on the acquisition side. I truly don't know, brother.
Not a problem. When in doubt, get the insurance.
Yes. Hey, you said it, Mike.
No, I've been.
Yes, sir.
Nobody wants FINRA. Well, anyway.
Yo, Mike, I'm going to put that on shirt for you, brother. Just when in doubt, get insurance. I love that.
Okay. Thank you.
So good. Thank you, Mike.
Awesome. Appreciate you, brother.
Joe, go ahead, man.
Gentlemen, thank you for being here, man. Appreciate it, Jay Jackson.
Yes, sir.
Always good to see you, brother. Question for you. You were talking about if you don't have a website, something with Google. I purchased my domain for like $12.90 through Google.
Yes, sir.
Expand on that for a second. How did you say to make that work?
Yes, sir. So Google has a free platform called Google Websites, and you can make a free website. I think it's called Google Sites. You can make a free website, and since you bought the domain with Google, you can actually link it live for free, bro. I think you can host it live. So I would just Google Sites. You know what? I'm a more visual person, so let's just do this right here. Let's just get into it, right? So can y'all see my screen? Yes?
Yes,
Google
sir.
Sites, right here. Look at this. Bang. Get started now. Pick a template, right? I'm gonna just pick whatever team, sure. You can design it, build it out right here, like I mentioned. You don't need nothing crazy in the beginning. Just make a video, upload the video view, put your Calendly link right underneath. You can edit this right here, and I'm gonna just test this out. Publish, and if you have a domain, custom domain, you can link it right to that domain right there, brother. Just hit manage, collect the domain, select your domain, and make it live. This is something new that Google started doing, and it's free. I'm pretty sure if it's not free, it's very, very cost effective. So I would start there, bro.
Amazing.
You don't need nothing fancy.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
So good. So valuable. Jay, thank you so much for being on today. Is there any other last questions here for Jay as we wrap up here? Susan, you got your hand back up. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's actually regarding what you just went over right now, with Engager AI, and a lot of people are probably signed up with Engager AI and hosting. So if anybody's signing up with Google and getting that new website, what is there something with Engager AI? Are they there? Can you expand on this and how that kind of works together?
Yeah, so Engager. Yeah, so Google, like I said, it depends on what stage you guys are at, and you guys want to invest in what, like I said, Google Sites is free. Engage is an incredible tool. They're adding way more automations, funnels, and new websites automatically pre-built in there. I just had a meeting with the Engager team, and they're building out some amazing stuff and trainings. So if you guys do have Engager, yes, that funnel that we built was built with Engager. That marketing and sales funnel that I showed you guys on the right, it was built in Engager. So Engager is an all-in-one marketing platform, right? It serves as a CRM. You can build your websites on it. You can set up your automations on there. You can attach all of your socials and even, schedule your posts from there. And it has funnels and landing pages and all these things. So if you guys have Engager, that has an all-in-one platform, right? So if you do Google Sites, you can do Google Sites, but then you also need Calendly, and you also need a CRM, right? With Engager, it has it all in one. It has all your calendars in there, your calendar links, your messaging, two-way messaging. So Engager is an incredible tool. We use it here at MFCP. So if you guys invested in that software is incredible. But if you guys are looking to be more budget friendly and use free software and services, Google Websites is there. I think, HubSpot has a free account for CRM. Calendly is free. So it just depends on what stage you guys are at.
Yeah, I think the biggest value with Engager AI is what I've picked up on and heard is that it's really the credibility to be able to add Tyler and add everybody else to your website when you're starting off, right? To have that backup to add to your website with Google. I want to get some clarification from OneSite Family to see, can we add them to our website? And if we're doing Google Sites, we can't, right? We have to go through Engager AI. Is this something, can you clarify this for me a little bit?
Yeah, so when you guys purchase the Engager actual program, that feature, I believe, comes with that. So I'm not 100% sure to answer your question, but if it's something that when you purchase that program, that it comes with that credibility with that might be only included in that sale.
Can I chime in on this, actually, because I did go with Engager and AI, so I might be able to shed a little bit light on this, if that's all right.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so I actually signed up for the Engager AI package, and they did my website here. I'll put a link to it. I'll put a link to it in the chat right here if you want to check it out. And because of that, they actually, here, I just put it into the chat. If you want to check that out, if you click on the, I think it's the About Us.
Did he cut out for you, Jackson?
Yeah. I think you did.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Ronald, are you
Oh,
there?
now we can hear you. Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that.
You're good, brother.
What was the last thing you heard?
We heard that because they made their About page or something like that. The About page.
Yeah, okay, so I just linked my website that Engager AI did for me in the chat. You can see it there, Halcyon Capital Ventures.
Okay.
So if you click on my website and you click on the About Us link, you'll see, if you scroll down a little bit down in the middle of the page, you'll see our advisory board. Because Engager AI knows that I'm with MFM, they are able to then utilize the credibility. And you'll see that I have Tyler Devereaux, Ryan Woolley, and Todd Miller right on my page right there with a little bio from all of them that Engager put on my website because they have done other websites for Multifamily Network. They're able to then utilize that, with the authority of these individuals, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
So you'll see that there. So if someone goes to my site and they scroll down to the About Us, they'll see Tyler, Ryan, and Todd on my site with some of the deal information that they themselves have done. and it makes it look like I am backed by a very experienced, highly qualified team of individuals who are my advisors that I'm working with.
Right,
Love
and yeah, that's the value add really for that Engager AI partnership to be able to invest in that. I was just curious that we so a big part of branding and marketing is to be, especially going through this, to have that is really to be marketable, to be able to brand yourself. That's extremely valuable. So I do understand that that's what they're doing, but I wanted to get some clarity, Jay, is that we can't do that if we're just using Google Site. We have to go through Engager AI in order to do that, right?
I
You
wouldn't
get
be
that?
I get your question, Susan. I wouldn't
Yeah.
be the person to give you the definite answer. What I know is when you purchase it, you get the cosign from them in an agreement that allows you to use it. I don't know if you're allowed to use it without that agreement.
We are not allowed to use. We are not allowed to use their information unless we have Engager. Period. They
Okay,
have
so
to
there
give
you
us that permission.
That
Okay.
agreement, yeah,
I
that
I was
agreement-
trying to chime in too. Yeah, they don't let you do it.
Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
So that's the cosign. That's the agreement. Basically, you're getting the availability to use their track record and their information on your website when you do that package. So that's the answer.
Yeah, so
That's
I
why they say. That's why they say go out and find a team and try to get an operator that you know very well that you can become partners with, so you could use their credibility and put them on your website, or vice versa. You go on their website.
And the
So
reason
I
Engager
actually-
lets you.
Go ahead, Ronald.
Yeah, so I actually heard of a student that did their website. They did not use Engager, but they went and grabbed that information that you see that I have, the advisory board section, from someone else's website. And they copied and pasted the pictures in and copied and pasted the text and put that on their website. And they didn't go through Engager. So I don't know if they were found out or not. I'm not naming names. I'm not getting into that whole situation. What I'm saying is I know that if you go through Engager, then they are authorized to be able to
Correct.
use their images and their information. Whereas the individual who didn't go through Engager just kind of grabbed it and did it on their own website, I told them that I don't think that's a good idea, simply because that's not authorized, and that's kind of identity theft in a sense, almost. I think that's tantamount to, because you're taking someone else's information without their images, without their permission, their knowledge, or the authorization, and using it for your own benefit to bolster your own thing. That's kind of fraud. But I
Correct.
I just know if you go through Engager, it's authorized, and you can legitimately use that information.
Exactly. And here's the thing too, and just if anybody here has it or doesn't have it or whatever with, hasn't gone through Engager, you're not going to be able to use them as credibility if you haven't gone through the system of actually getting authorization to use them. So if you do get a deal, you do get an investor who wants to talk to your partners, and you don't have the authority to use their likeness, case studies, track record, you're not going to be able to leverage it. So, what Ronald said is true. Being able to leverage it and use their credibility does come from the authorization, from the agreement that you sign when you get the Engager package.
And the reason that they actually gave the advantage, just because I just got off my 2-day track and they were actually talking about it, my fast track, is that Tyler, Ryan and Todd were saying, how can we help our students get off the ground faster? That was the number one thing, gain credibility. They really need credibility. And how you could do it is actually put something to where you back them. And so they said, okay, well, if you actually put a package together that will help them, with their marketing, with their, website, with everything, then we'll allow you to put our information on there as well, but not without Engager for sure.
Correct. Awesome.
Jay, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you everybody so much for participating on the call. If there's any further questions regarding the Engager stuff and whether you can use Tyler, Ryan, and Todd's information for credibility, please reach out to us. Support@themultifamilymindset.com. We can make sure to clear that up for you. I feel like we cleared it up pretty well on this call. But if there's any further questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. We'll definitely make sure we get you taken care of. Jay,
Yes.
thank you so much for such a valuable call, man. Is there anything you want to say?
Yeah.
Say
I'm gonna give a special.
here?
I'm gonna give a special offer. I got some time on my calendar next week, so take this down. Follow me on Instagram @JayCarterMartin, JayCar. I'm putting in the chat, and then take my email. I'll put this in the chat as well. First 10 people to email me and follow me on IG, I will hop on a call so we can do some role playing.
Ooh, valuable.
Come on, trying to connect with you guys. So I'm gonna put my email. Here's my Instagram. Let's connect, man. I haven't been as active as I wanted to be in the network, but I definitely want to connect with you guys. So I'm gonna pick 10 people at random to connect with and schedule calls with you guys. Want to learn more about you guys, your journey, where you are in your business, and let's role play. So I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you guys got incredible value, and I look forward to connecting with you guys. Have an amazing night, and thank you so much for being a part of our Ohana and our family.